Welcome back to the Z Consulting podcast, where we kind of try to help you navigate all this crazy stuff happening in the business world.
Yeah.
And today we're diving into something that's changing everything really fast, AI agents.
Oh, for sure.
And to help us with all this, we've got a true expert in the field,
Oh, wow.
an AI agent development specialist. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
So I think for a lot of people, AI agents sound like, I don't know, like Star Wars or something.
Yeah.
But they're already making a real difference for businesses everywhere,
Totally.
like all kinds of industries.
Oh, yeah. We're seeing AI agents changing everything.
Really?
From customer service to healthcare to even finance.
That's wild. And you've been right in the middle of it all,
Yeah,
helping businesses actually use these AI agents.
that's right.
So let's start with the basics. What exactly are these AI agents and why should anyone even care?
Okay, so basically an AI agent is a piece of software that can do stuff on its own
Yeah.
to get things done.
Interesting.
It uses information from, its environment to make decisions and take actions, and it doesn't need a human to tell it what to do every single second.
So it's not like a regular program where you got to tell it exactly what to do?
No, it's much more independent.
Okay, so that sounds super cool, but how is it different from just a chatbot?
Good question. Chatbots, they're kind of like a simple AI agent,
I see.
but they're usually more limited, like they follow a script.
Okay.
A true AI agent, though, it's way more adaptable and it learns from experience, so it gets better over time.
So it's like one of those students who doesn't just memorize the textbook, but actually gets the concepts and can apply them to different situations.
Exactly. It's all about learning and getting better, using data and algorithms to improve its performance.
Okay, now I'm starting to see why this is such a big deal.
Right.
So let's get practical. How do businesses even start building these things? We found this great blog post called A Step-by-Step Guide to Building an AI Agent from Scratch, and I want to unpack it with you.
Awesome. That's a perfect place to start. Building one of these things can be a little scary, but if you break it down into steps, it's much easier.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
So the article talks about two ways to do it. Building from scratch or using existing frameworks. What are the pros and cons of each?
All right. So building from scratch.
Yep.
It gives you complete control. You can tailor it to exactly what your business needs and make sure it works perfectly with your systems.
Right.
But you gotta have a lot of technical knowledge, and it takes time and money.
It's like building a custom house, right?
Exactly. You have all the freedom,
Yeah.
but you need a great architect, a whole team of builders, and a big budget.
Exactly, yeah. So then what about using a framework? What's that like?
Using a framework is like getting a prefab house.
Oh, okay.
It's faster, maybe cheaper, and you don't need as many specialists. Frameworks provide you with a good foundation and some pre-built parts, so you can just focus on customizing the agent.
So frameworks sound good for businesses that don't have a ton of AI experts or maybe have a tight deadline.
Definitely.
Are there any specific frameworks that you like?
Yeah, there's actually a bunch of good ones out there. They'll have
Cool.
strengths and weaknesses. LangChain, for instance, is known for being modular and flexible, which is good if you have a complex agent that needs to pull information from a lot of different places.
I see.
Lamy Index, that one's really good at finding info, so it's perfect for agents that need to deal with tons of data.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So choosing the right way to build your AI agent from scratch or using a framework is a really big first step. And it all depends on what your business needs, its resources, and how much expertise you have.
Exactly.
So let's say you've decided to take the plunge and build an AI agent.
Okay.
What's next? What's step one?
Well, the blog post lays out 7 steps, and the first one is super important. Define the purpose and scope of your agent.
What's its mission?
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't start building a house without a blueprint.
No,
So why build an AI agent without knowing what it's supposed to do?
that's true. You need to figure out what problems you're trying to solve
Mm-hmm.
or what opportunities you want to grab.
Precisely. And this is where a lot of businesses trip up. They get caught up in all the hype around AI and forget to figure out their goals first.
So you got to know what you want before you start building.
Exactly. Align your AI strategy with your business goals.
All right, so let's say we've done our homework. We know what we want our AI agent to do.
Right.
What's the next step on the roadmap?
So step 2, according to the blog, is getting the right development team together.
Gotcha.
Building an AI agent is not a one-person job. You need different skills like machine learning,
Hmm.
data science, software engineering,
Yeah.
and even user interface and user experience design if your agent is going to be talking to people directly.
So you need a whole team of experts.
Yeah, kind of like a dream team of tech wizards.
Okay, so what about the actual people? How do you find the right ones?
Well, it depends how complicated your project is and how you're building it. You could build a team in-house or work with a company that specializes in AI development, like Nidus Lab.
That's a good point. Nidus Lab, they're great at developing AI agents, and they have a team of experts to help businesses with, like, every single step.
For sure.
For listeners who want to learn more, their website is www.niduslab.com.
Awesome. So once you've got your team ready, the next big thing is collecting and prepping all the data that will power your AI agent.
Ah, so this is where we feed the AI beast.
Pretty much.
But it can't be just any data, right?
No, no, no. The quality of the data is super important. I mean, an AI agent's only as good as the data it learns from. If you feed it junk, you're going to get junk results.
It's like trying to build a house with, like, broken bricks.
Exactly. You need good, clean, well-organized data to make a solid AI agent.
Okay, now I'm realizing that building an AI agent isn't just about writing code. It's about planning, building a team, and making sure your data is good.
You got it. And we're just getting started. There are 4 more steps in the whole process, and they all have their own challenges and opportunities.
So much to learn.
Yeah.
But we still need to talk about the technical stuff, like picking the right tools,
Yeah.
designing the structure, writing the code, and then actually launching it and keeping an eye on it.
That's right.
But we'll save all that for the next part of our deep dive.
Looking forward to it.
It's been great having you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And for our listeners, we'll be back with part 2 of our AI agent deep dive, where we'll really get into the nitty-gritty of how to build these systems.
Sounds good.
See you next time.
See ya.
All right, welcome back to part 2 of our AI agent deep dive.
It's good to be back.
We covered a lot of ground in part 1,
Yeah, we did.
like all the basics of building a successful AI agent.
Right.
Now, let's get into the technical stuff.
Okay, sounds
The blog post we were talking about,
Yeah.
that step-by-step guide. The 4th step is all about choosing the right tools and technology.
Right.
And I can imagine that gets pretty complicated.
Oh, yeah. It can definitely be overwhelming. There's so much out there.
Yeah.
The world of AI is huge, and it changes all the time.
Oh, I bet.
You've got things like machine learning frameworks,
Okay.
like TensorFlow and PyTorch,
Uh-huh.
and then natural language processing libraries.
Oh, those.
Those are things like Spacey and NLTK
Ah, yes.
and computer vision tools, and then even different ways to launch your agent.
Launch.
Yeah, like using your own servers or using cloud platforms.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So how do you even begin to choose the right tools? It feels like you need a PhD just to understand the options.
Right. Well, that's where it really helps to have, experienced AI developers on your team
Yeah,
or to work with a company that really knows this stuff.
I see.
They can help you figure out what you need, look at all the different technologies, and pick the tools that fit your goals, budget, and the systems you already have.
It's like choosing the right tools for, I don't know, a construction project or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't use a hammer to saw wood.
Right.
You got to make sure you have the right tools for the job.
Exactly. And it's not just about picking the tools at the beginning.
Yeah.
No, you also need to think about how easy they are to use,
Okay.
what kind of support there is, and whether there's good documentation.
So, like, are there tutorials?
Yeah, like online forums, tutorials, things like that. That can really help when you run into problems, which you definitely will.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our team, we've prepped our data, and we've chosen our tools. Now it's time to build the thing, right? What's that process look like?
Okay, so that's where step 5 comes in. Design.
Design, okay.
This is where you actually create the architecture of your AI agent, like the blueprint.
So we're not just talking about code here, right?
No, not yet. This is where you figure out how everything's going to work together.
Got it.
How the data is going to flow through the system, what algorithms are going to make the decisions.
So like the big picture stuff.
Yes, exactly. You might go with a modular design.
Modular.
Yeah, where different parts are developed and tested separately and then put together.
Oh, like building blocks?
Yeah, exactly. That makes it easier to change and update things later on.
Smart.
It goes well with something called the Agile Development Methodology,
All right.
which is all about flexibility and making changes as you go.
Gotcha. So is there another way to do it?
Yeah, you could also choose a concurrent design.
Concurrent, huh?
Yeah, where multiple tasks are done at the same time.
Interesting.
This can be more efficient for some things, but you got to be careful to avoid problems.
Makes sense.
And you also got to think about how users are going to interact with your AI agent.
Oh, yeah, like how are people going to use it?
Yeah, is it going to have a visual interface or a chatbot interface, or is it going to work behind the scenes?
So many things to think about.
It is, but a good design is really the foundation for a successful AI agent.
Yeah, better to figure it out now than to try to fix it later.
Exactly, much
Yeah.
easier.
All right, so we've got our blueprint, we've designed the thing,
Right.
time to get coding.
Yep, that's step 6, development.
All right, let's code.
This is where your design becomes real. Your developers will write all the code
Uh-huh.
to make your agent actually work using the tools and technologies that you chose before.
Right.
They'll connect to other systems using APIs.
APIs, right? Those are like digital messengers.
Exactly.
Okay.
They'll build databases to store all the info, and they'll incorporate those algorithms that are going to power your agent's decision-making.
This sounds like serious coding.
It is, and it requires everyone on the team to work really closely together.
Yeah, makes sense.
For example, the machine learning engineers,
Okay.
they're going to be the ones training those algorithms that help your agent learn from all the data.
So all that data prep we did earlier, that's coming back into play now.
Exactly. How good your data is and how well your algorithms work.
Yeah.
Those are the things that will determine how well your AI agent performs in the real world.
So testing's got to be a big part of this stage too, right?
Oh yeah, super important.
Gotcha.
You got to do a lot of testing to make sure your agent does what it's supposed to do,
Mm-hmm.
handles different situations the right way,
Yeah,
and doesn't do anything weird or harmful.
that's a good point.
There are different types of testing. Unit testing,
What's that?
that focuses on individual parts. Integration testing to make sure all the different parts work together.
I see.
And performance testing, which checks how well the agent handles real-world stuff.
So it's like a bunch of quality checks to make sure our AI agent is ready for the big leagues.
Exactly.
This is getting pretty intense.
It is.
Starting to understand why you need a whole team of experts to build these things.
Yeah, it takes a lot of specialized skills.
Okay, so we've designed it, we've developed it, we've tested it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the final step?
Step 7, deployment and monitoring.
Okay, deployment.
That means you release your AI agent into the real world.
It's a big day.
It is, but the work doesn't stop there.
Really?
Nope, you got to constantly monitor how your agent's doing,
I
see
see.
if there are any problems, and get feedback from users. And then you use all that information to make it better and keep it up to date.
So it's not like set it and forget it.
No, not at all. Building an AI agent is an ongoing thing.
Makes sense?
The world's always changing, so your AI agent needs to change too.
Right, to stay relevant.
Exactly. It's a constant cycle of developing, deploying, monitoring, and improving, and that's what makes it so exciting.
I can imagine.
Yeah, there's always something new to learn, new problems to solve, new ways to push the boundaries.
This has been really eye-opening. We've talked about a lot, from choosing the right building approach to all the complexities of design, development, and deployment.
Yeah, we have.
But hopefully our listeners have a better understanding of what it takes to build an AI agent and how much potential they have.
I hope so.
Okay, now I know we still have one more part to go in our deep dive, and I'm excited to talk about some real-world examples of AI agents in action.
Me too.
We've talked about how to build them, but in part 3, I want to dive into why they're so important and how they're being used to solve problems and create value in different industries.
Sounds good.
So stay tuned for part 3, where we'll explore the exciting world of AI agents in action. All right, welcome back to the Z Consulting Podcast for the final part of our deep dive into AI agents.
Yeah, it's been really interesting exploring all the details of building these intelligent systems.
We've talked about like everything from the first planning stages to the super technical stuff of development and deployment.
It's been a lot.
Yeah.
But now I think it's time to shift gears and talk about how AI agents are actually being used in the real world.
Totally. We've covered the how, but now let's get to the why. What makes AI agents so groundbreaking?
Exactly.
And how are they actually changing things in fields like healthcare, finance, and customer service?
Okay, well, let's start with healthcare.
Okay, healthcare.
Imagine an AI agent that can look at medical images, things like X-rays and CT scans, and help doctors diagnose diseases.
So the AI is like a second opinion, helping doctors diagnose faster and more accurately.
Exactly. And it's not just speed and accuracy. AI agents can also analyze tons of patient data.
Tons, huh?
Yeah, medical records, genetic information, even lifestyle factors to identify potential health risks and personalized treatment plans.
Wow. So it's like having a digital detective working alongside the doctors.
Pretty much.
Okay, so diagnosis and treatment. But what about new cures? Can AI help with that?
Oh, absolutely. Don't forget about drug discovery.
Oh, right.
AI agents can analyze huge data sets of scientific literature and clinical trial data.
So much data.
Yeah, and potentially speed up the development of new treatments.
That's incredible. AI could help us find cures faster.
Yeah, the possibilities in healthcare are really amazing.
Okay, so healthcare is one big area.
Mm-hmm.
What about finance? How are AI agents being used there?
Oh, financial institutions are using AI for all sorts of things, like detecting fraud.
Assessing credit risk and even giving personalized investment advice.
So they're making finance safer and more efficient.
Exactly. Picture this. An AI agent that's constantly analyzing millions of transactions, looking for suspicious patterns that might point to, money laundering or other crimes.
That's like a digital security guard.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
It helps banks protect their customers and avoid losses.
And I can see how AI could give people personalized financial advice too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like it could look at someone's finances, risk tolerance, and investment goals,
Right.
and then recommend the best plan.
Exactly. AI can take the guesswork out of investing
Wow.
and make it easier for people who don't have the time or expertise to manage their own money.
Okay, so we've got healthcare, finance. What about customer service? It seems like I'm running into AI chatbots all the time now.
Yeah, you're right.
Are those AI agents?
Yep, and they're getting better all the time.
Yeah, it seems like it.
They can handle lots of different customer questions.
Provide support any time of day or night, and even solve some problems without needing a human to step in.
So that frees up human agents to deal with the really tough stuff.
Precisely. And AI chatbots can be personalized to make the experience better for customers.
Interesting how.
Well, they can learn what a customer likes and tailor their responses.
So it feels more like you're talking to a real person.
Exactly. It's not just about automating tasks, it's about making the whole customer experience better.
This is all really amazing, but what about the downsides? Are there any challenges or limitations to using AI agents?
Well, one big challenge is making sure the AI is trained on good data that isn't biased.
Oh yeah, I can see how that would be a problem.
Yeah, if the data's messed up or reflects, societal biases, then the AI could make biased decisions too.
That's a great point. You have to be careful about the ethical implications of AI.
Exactly, and we need to make sure it's developed and used responsibly.
Absolutely. Transparency is important too.
Yes, definitely.
People need to understand how AI agents make decisions and what information they're using.
It's about trust.
Exactly. Sounds like there's a lot to think about when you're using AI agents.
Oh, for sure. It's not just about the technology, it's also about the ethical and social impact.
All right, so as we wrap up our deep dive into AI agents, what are the key things our listeners should remember?
Well, the main thing is that AI agents are changing fast and have the potential to change everything.
Yeah, it's incredible.
They're already making a difference in healthcare, finance, and customer service.
For sure.
And we'll see even more amazing applications in the future.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it is. But to build successful AI agents, you need the right technical skills, a good plan, and you have to think about the ethics of it all.
It's a lot more than just the technology. If
Definitely.
you're interested in exploring how AI agents can help your business, I recommend checking out Nidus Lab.
They're great.
They're leaders in AI development, and they have a team of experts who can guide you through the whole process.
They're a great resource.
You can find them at www.niduslab.com.
Yeah, check them out.
It's been great talking about this with you and our listeners.
Me too.
Thanks so much for sharing your expertise with us.
It was my pleasure.
We release new episodes every Wednesday and Sunday at 7 p.m.
Thank you for tuning in to the Z Consulting Podcast, where we discuss the ins and outs of business.
Looking forward to having you join us again.